Hi guys, and welcome back to another Property in the Spotlight. My name is Lloyd Ross, coming from Bundall in the Gold Coast with RPM Queensland. So today, what do we have as the property in the spotlight? Well, today we are we're back in Coomera. It seems to be the place at the moment really where some of the best value properties can be found with the correct growth metrics, as well as the right price and yield. So we are back in Northern Gold Coast. You can see here, this is where the Central Gold Coast is, Central University here, the hospital, up the highway to Pacific Pines, through Maudsley, past the theme parks and into Coomera before going obviously into Brisbane. So here today we are on the western side of the M1, not the eastern side. So before we've been in these types of areas here and here. Last one we did was in Coomera Waters. And now we're on the western side. So you can see this big fellow here is the Coomera Town Centre. Now, the early stages of the town centre are about here, just before the train station. So that's where Westfield is currently under construction, due to finish at the end of this year, 2018. And once that's finished, it'll attract thousands of jobs to the area naturally, as retail does, and all the value of these properties will actually go up from supply of more people, from undersupply of land because there's not a great deal of land left, and an oversupply or a high demand of people because there's more jobs being created, there's more population growth. So the great equation for property value growth when that happens. So I'm just going to turn my volume up there. Hopefully you heard that first part of this. Now, the western side of the M1. So there's the M1 all the way to Brisbane. We're over here today. This is Coomera Springs. Okay, so this is a very established Coomera area. There's a few little pockets here that are being developed now, some added extensions. And you can see here that, of course, we have the Coomera Springs School, the state school there, well and truly completed and underway and operating, has been for quite some time. And obviously you've got here the retail and industrial, or sort of the workplace areas, another school here. So it's a very established area. Okay, so it's fantastic for property investing. If you can get blocks here, if you can get packages here for the right price, the right size block, under the right circumstances. So we are in the Coomera Springs additional extensions to the estates, and we're on this side of it. So Frogmouth Street is where the property is, and the land, this particular block lies about there on this master plan. So I'm going to show you the actual master plan here. So this is the master plan. There's the school I mentioned there. And if you follow this up and over, this is the block that is available. It's here. So it's around about there. All right. And I want to show you the package that we have, which is this brochure. So this is by Sandsky Developments, one of the best builders in town. They build an exceptional home. They're liked by all the major developers for being in the higher end estates, and they have the best supply discounts. And they tend to value really well with the banks, which is what we love. So the pricing of the construction is very, very, very competitive. So we love, if we can get our hands ever on Sandsky Developments, we do like to do that. But there's few and far between great deals around in the marketplace. So we have to be very diligent and sharpen our pencils. So you can see this type of property, the location is excellent. In an established area of Coomera, the schools are, within a riding distance for the kids. There's a number of schools very close to the M1, very close to Dreamworld, the theme parks, very close to the new town centre, already existing shopping locally by. This is a fantastic location. And they don't pop up in this location often. So we're very excited to present this one in the spotlight because we feel it is certainly one of the best ones we've found in an existing area of Coomera for quite some time. Bearing in mind, we were helping clients buy property investments in Coomera in 2004 for $200,000. Can you believe that? It's now $572. So you can think it's almost tripled in value in that time in sort of, 13, 14 years. It's amazing. So the growth is certainly there, and anyone who did buy back there, many of our clients have made a hell of a lot of money. They've been patient in their investments, and I feel with the growth there at 15% in Coomera annually with population that it will just do the same thing. I can't see it slowing down. It'll be $1 million area before we know it, and people will wonder what happened. That's the reality. You know, so looking at this particular property, you can see a massive block here, 694 square meters, corner block, nice and square, no easements, no dramas with the block. There's nothing untoward with it. It's just a fantastic, well-priced block. And at 700 almost square meters, very, very well unheard of these days. So that's where the value is locked into. It's locked into the land price. You can see there that's very, very competitive. The build price is slightly a split level home. You can't see it on this particular diagram here, but it is split level. I'll show you on the schematics shortly in the sketch. I'll show you now, actually. There's the massive block. It's huge, huge yard space. You can see some little retaining walls here on the other side. Big house. In fact, the house is 200 and almost 2 square meters. Big home. Price is $297, and I'll explain why that is, because it is a split level. So you can see this. This is what it looks like from the side. This is the elevation drawing. So there's the elevation drawings there. You can see there's a slight lift in this. So it's 2 levels almost. It's like a split level, front and then back. And there's some retaining walls required there and on the sides. So this is it's very well positioned. It's got some height in it, and it's well packaged up. It presents really well. Fantastic finishes, high level specifications. It's a fascinating property. I love it. So this, you can see 4 bedroom, 2 bath. We have got, it comes with, all of our properties for our clients come with everything. They don't need to put a driveway in. They don't need to add air conditioning. They don't need to add security screens or anything like that. It's all available. It's all ready to go for a tenant, which is most important, especially if you're busy and this is not your forte and you don't have time to build properties. You don't have time to be a developer. And that's really who we help, people that don't have time. They're good at other things, and we help them to buy their first or second or third property investment that's ready to go for them in the correct location, at the right price. It's going to value really well and attract, of course, a premium rental return. So let's have a look. So this property is, we'll do the yields together here live. I'll just grab my calculator. It's very straightforward to do the yields. It's $572,000 for this property. Most of the value, again, remember, is in the land. Okay, now you don't get a rental return for land. You get a rental return with the land and a house. So this is what's going to increase in value as the market grows. It's the land portion. You can imagine how much a 700 square meter block is going to be worth in 10 years. It's going to be quite a lot. Now, let's have a look at the rental appraisal. This is a live rental appraisal from Apple Realty from Ashley, who handles most of our clients. Coomera Street, so 460 to 480. Coomera, let's go 480 because it's a big block, big house, brand new, achieving rentals of that nature in existing Coomera. Some areas in Pimpama are 450, 460. Let's go 480 divided by 572, roughly. So 4.4% yield on this, which is not really, it's not a high yield, but it's not really a low one either. It's kind of in the middle. It would, at 4.4% on a 4.4% interest rate, it would cover the repayments. If the interest rate was a little bit higher, it would be slightly short. But the reality is you're investing in this particular property because, of course, the rental return is good. It's sensible. But the size of the block is where the value lies in this particular property. And that's really what you want to be banking on as a property investor. Land value is going up. So if you can capture some sort of 5% or 10% return in your land value over a couple of years, then you've obviously got gains and wealth building happening without you having to be taxed on it, which is what happens to income when you make it from yield. You actually get taxed on it every year. So you want to have a very nice balance between the yield of, say, $480 a week in rent to cover the bulk of the repayments from the bank. And of course, so the tenant's paying off or servicing the property loan, and then having the property grow in value over time to create the wealth you're after, because it's a compounding effect. It compounds over time, and that's what builds wealth. So you'd want to hold on to this property until it's worth $900 or $1 million, basically. Many of our clients have done that in these areas over the past, say, 13 years. So that's the rental return. That's the yield. We've looked at the preliminary sketches. We've looked at the master plan, and we've obviously looked at the brochure too. So you can see back in here, there is the size of the block. It's quite big at the end. And you can obviously see here that now this looks like it's unregistered, but it's actually registered and ready to go. So these streets Google Earth is a little bit behind. These are all ready to go. It's ready to build on, and ready to get started. 20 weeks, finish, get it leased, and you can see there's just not a lot of land available. Okay, there's no amalgamations of estates happening. There's a little one over here that's now finished. These are the more pimping ones. This is all finished now. This is all done. There's houses here everywhere. This is all finished. This is finished now. So there's not as much land as what people think around here. These are all finished estates. The only sort of stuff that's not quite finished yet is a little bit in Pimpamar there, and that's basically it. None of this stuff will be built on because you've got to amalgamate the farms, and that takes quite a long time. So I hope that's been helpful for you guys. This is the property in the spotlight because of the size of the block, the location of the block, and the fact that it's in an existing suburb. Properties like this at $572,000 for what you get don't come around a lot. This would value really well by the banks and the independent valuers like Heron Top White. I think they would probably value this right on the dollar, which means it's very well priced. So it is our property in the spotlight. In fact, there has been some interest around already. I'm fairly certain that it's been reserved already, but we don't quite know yet if it's going to proceed to settle because we just hold it for clients for a period of time. And it's first in, best rest. Sometimes people think, why can you hold me the best property in this type of stuff? We always put our best foot forward for our clients on the day. So if clients come to see us and they say, what have you got? They will always get the best properties that we have on our books on the day. And they'll usually have an option of, the best, second best, and third best, depending on their price point and, of course, what they'll be approved for by the bank. So if this looks like something you would want and you would want to own for a property investment portfolio and you feel there's a lot of value in this based on your own research, and you can jump on realestate.com and cross-reference all the things I've just said, you'll come up with a similar conclusion that this is great value. If you do want to know more about this, feel free to just drop a comment below there, or shoot Crystal a message on the page and we can elaborate further on this particular package and go into more detail. But this is the property in the spotlight. Very exciting. I dare say it won't be around next week. And then we will bring you more property in the spotlights as and when we find them, because they are becoming increasingly difficult to find in terms of great deals for our clients. So wish us luck, and we'll come back to you very soon with another property in the spotlight. Thank you.